Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Fabulous. I'm in bed. Not with Tori, but I am in bed. I must have accidentally hit the mute button. You know, it's just it's been really interesting. And I watch and I listen. I do. I pay attention. I think that's my biggest problem. I think that's most people's biggest problem with me, that I pay attention. You know, people are so used to just running their mouths and saying whatever they want to say and just, people just letting it go like that. People just, you know, just, oh yeah, such and such said such and such. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you hear what she said? Did you hear what she said? Yeah, but was it true? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Such and such and such and such. Oh my goodness, such and such said such and such and such and such and such and such and such. But is it true? Is any of it true? Does any of it have any real validity or substance in any way? Is any of it real? Mm-mm. Not most of the time. Not at all. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just getting my day started. I'm actually starting my day with you guys. That's the awesome thing. Hold on 1 second. Thanks, Michael. I'll be right back. You know, when I first scheduled this live, seriously, I was feeling completely different 5 days ago. And then I saw something strange. I saw that there was a live video of me, or at least it was supposed to be of me. It was kind of weird. He still snores like the Dickens. But seriously, though, I just found it really interesting. Hmm. Don't mind me checking in the chickens. Hey, Bert, Lord have mercy. They coming running. I don't got no feed. What they say when the cock crows, huh? When the cock crows. Mm. Yeah, nah, it was really wild. Someone had advertised a whole live saying convo with Jaguar Wright live. Did anybody else see that? Did anybody else? Did anybody else but me see that? Don't sit under the apple tree with anybody else but me. I just want to know who's over there. Like seriously, like who was over there listening to so-called me live? It was kind of pathetic to see Ralph Boston join the league of extraordinary losers. It really, really, really was. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Michael. I find it interesting, extremely interesting, that Mr. Boston thought that not only was it wise to take a picture, turn it into an avatar, hook it up to an account, and then invite it on to his very lonely stage, and then proceed to have a conversation with what I can prove was clearly an altered AI recording. I got the facts. I got the deets. Sure do. Matter of fact, it was at the 33-minute mark and what, 49 second? No, I'm about to have me some coffee in a second. But seriously, 33-minute mark of his live combo with me, where they pretty much just took a bunch of former recordings and then they AI hacked them and edited them together. It was different conversations. It was completely different conversations. I'm not going to go through the trouble of going through all of the live documentation. The only thing I really needed to spot was the AI glitch. And I did. It was real fast. Like I said, he talked a bunch of crap, said a bunch of weird stuff. And then somewhere around the 33-minute mark, and please, Mr. Boston, do not get excited. I wasn't watching. My notification wasn't on. Someone sent it to me, of course. I don't watch any of you people anymore. I have many more important things to do in my life. You know, thank you, Alina. Yeah, it is time for a latte. But no, seriously, just hey, Bert, Grand Rising, Bert. What you talking? What? No, it's a chicken. Miss Bert, what's going on? Bert and Ernie, Bertha and Ernestine. That's what I call them. What's going on, Bert? What you looking? They must be hungry. They must be looking for something to eat. I'm known as the food lady with animals because I always feed animals. But Bert over here, what's going on, girl? I'm not going to lie. It takes a lot of restraint not to, go straight cartoon character mode and start seeing little drumsticks dancing sometimes. I'm telling you, yeah, Bert and Ernie, Bert, Bertha, and Ernestine. They act like church deaconesses, so I gave them church deaconesses names. This is Bert and Ernie. Oh, that's okay. You haven't seen it? Guess what I did? And I'll be putting it up after this live too, I think. I wasn't going to put it up at all. I wanted to see how many other people were going to have the audacity to impersonate me this week. That's why I waited. Sure did. That's exactly why I waited. I wonder how many weirdos right now are screen recording this right now. You know? Like, how many of you weirdos are screen recording me right now? Many. So that you can zoom in on my face and try to find something that you can say is displeasurable about me, or say, hey, I know everything she's doing and I know everywhere she's going to be and I'm going to ruin her life and she's not going to be able to do this and to do that and to do this. And oh, wow. That's what you live for? It's kind of pathetic. I wish I would sit around and take the time to screen record and then blow up the picture of the person that I don't like so I can be all in their mouth, all in their gums, all in their tonsils, all in their pores, all in their eyes. Like it's no, I don't wish. I ain't got the time. I don't. I have too many more important things to do with my life than sit around obsessing over every detail of someone that I hate. Like, if I don't bang with you, I just don't bang with you. I don't talk about you. I don't look at you. I don't even think about you. You don't exist to me anymore. You're not even real. Why would I sit around staring and looking at someone else? I know a lot of you are mad. It's so funny. All of these weirdos that have the audacity to put my name and Tisa Jackie McKinney's name, um, you know, in the thumbnail title. It should be very clear. Welcome to the family, Queen Lotus. I'm not a member. I can't. So good to see you looking well and happy. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. But I'm not going to lie. It's been a hell of a week for me. 7 days week from last Thursday to this Thursday. I don't know why. I don't know why anyone and people running around, oh, Tisa doesn't need the money. She's not doing this for money. She's doing this because she's a real reporter. In what world? In what world is someone who gets fed a bunch of information from a TMZ source? Ooh, I'm going to be doing a shitload of pods, is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a ton of pods. I mean, ton. Thank you, Nisi. I am. I'm going to be doing a ton of them. Um, I got about 15 things I sold over the course of this past 7 days. And the reason why I'm saying from 7 day to 7 day, by the way, we have 510 people in the room. That's wonderful. Um, but we only have 287 likes. So I'd appreciate it if we could get at least 250 more likes. Please like, double tap, let them know we're finally here. Is Tisa and Claudia Jordan related? They resemble each other and kind of speak the exact same way. That too. That too. And I think people got upset when I pointed that out. Oh, Tisa's got $5 million. Really? How do you know? Did you see banking statements? Do you have a copy of her portfolio? Like, I'm going to tell you something right now. If I was a YouTuber that was worth $5 million or I had $5 million in the bank, the last thing I'd be doing is announcing it to everyone in the world that that's what I had, because what it's going to do is make other YouTubers upset, and then they're going to attack your channel and try to take your channel down. Unless it's all cap and you're sanctioned and you're being carried. You know, I think I found the missing link. Did. Sure did. And I've been watching her, whether she knows it or not. Little black girl that worked for TMZ. We spoke. She was the third person that I spoke to from TMZ after I declined to give any sound bites or anything, to talk about anything. I have no need to talk to that lying ass outlet. And see, y'all shouldn't have sent her to me. You shouldn't have. When you didn't get a reaction from the other two people, you should have just let it go. That's what you should have did. But no, because of the kind of duplicitous people Harvey and them folks is over there at TMZ, they knew they did what they did. Send the black girl in to talk to her and have a sensitivity talk and see what we can get out of her. That was stupid. That was stupid. That was dumb, Harvey. I'm telling you that now. It was flat out just mentally delayed, punch drunk. Clarissa Shields, punch drunk. Like, seriously. Oh, yeah, the little black girl that works for TMZ who loves kiting around with YouTubers, who runs back and forth between the courtroom to the YouTubers that didn't stand in line to come outside and to tell them things of what to say and what to do. I found your missing link, baby. And y'all sent it right to me. Hey, Carla. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This the justice team. This the real Justice League over here. Jag Nation. Now, it would be wrong of me if I said her name, or, I mean, would it be wrong? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'm going to talk about it on my pods. But man, oh man, oh man, that was just stupid. And she came over to talk to me and to tell me that she understood. We need 200 more likes still. And that she understood why I didn't want to have a conversation, and how she knew that Harvey was a scumbag and how most people hate him, and how when she tells people who she works for, they cuss her out, and she's like, hey, I know, I understand. I don't agree with what he does either, but it's just my job. I'm in media. I mean, she sat there and had a whole conversation about how she was talking to a YouTuber inside the courthouse and how she was trying to explain to him that he was missing the moment and he was asking her this and he was worried about getting the shot, but he wasn't worried about getting into the real story and how he needed to get his act together because these people come up in the courtroom and they don't realize, this is history. Oh, yeah. She was in there to get morale going. Justice is working. It is. It is. Hey, Lauren, seriously though, she was very concerned that people's head wasn't in the game. And I thought to myself, okay, why do you care? Why do you care what these content creators are paying attention to, not paying attention to, listening to, not listening to, doing, not doing, recognizing, not? Why do you care? You work for TMZ. Mm, why would you care? Still need 250 more likes. Why would you care? See, that's why I don't like smart little dumb black girls, the ones that think they so smart. What you about? I mean, I was sitting down when we were talking. She walked up on me where I was doing and conducting the interviews. She came right on over, right on over. Now I'm sitting down. She's about 5'6", maybe. You know, it would appear to be natural blown out hair. I'm not sure she had pieces in it or anything. I don't know. Around my complexion, maybe a little darker, about a size 6, barely an 8, somewhere between a 6 and an 8. Shoulder length hair, you know. And she was pleasant with me, but the devil knows how to be pleasant. That's how he convinces most people to let him in. Y'all haven't seen that movie Sinners yet? No, it wasn't Tisa. I said brown skin, a little darker than me. Tisa's light bright. We're talking about a TMZ employee who I am now fingering as the link between TMZ and YouTube. If that was who you were going to be, you probably shouldn't be hanging out in Times Square, going to dinner with them, taking pictures with them, right? The the best in black media, right? I mean, that's what Armand posted. She's in that picture. You shouldn't have been in that picture. Matter of fact, if you're going to be hanging out with YouTubers and briefing them on what you want them to run in their negative thumbnails so you can push it up in the Google algorithm so TMZ can loosely report findings as fact. Because, see, that's the pipeline. All of you YouTubers gathering all of this information and then you're handing it over to TMZ and then they make sure, and see, people keep forgetting Harvey Leviathan is a lawyer. That's why he has the job that he has, so that he can allegedly push in disinformation and misinformation to the line to stave off litigation. Oh, I know. They should. They all the same. For real, for real. All of them. They're all the same. No, but seriously though, I'm gonna just turn this around for a second because I want people to really look. We could use 250 more likes still. I want people to look at this young man. Now, for TMZ to be pulling this kind of stunt, it's egregious. It is. Yeah. Harvey Levin, Harvey Leviathan from People's Court. That should have let you know right there he was duplicitous. Because People's Court ain't nobody's court at all. It's entertainment. Nothing more, nothing less. TMZ. So basically, I guess what I'm telling you all, yes, yes, Little Hands Harvey. Yes, Harvey Little Hands Leviathan. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, got his little black girl hanging out with all of the YouTubers, telling them what they need them to report, asking them what they heard. They're colluding. TMZ, in my opinion, allegedly is colluding with YouTube. It's disgusting. And it's terrifying to a certain extent. It really is. It's terrifying. Um, because what that means is that real information is not getting through. That means that information is being choreographed. That means that information hmm, is being intentionally, and I mean intentionally. Ooh, I hate it when I'm right. I told y'all when I went to that courtroom, my whole reason, when I went to that courthouse, my main reason was to research what was happening there. Hmm. Which is why I also said I think the prosecution should have all of YouTube thrown out of that courtroom, all of it, because they're not there to report the case. They're there to distract the public, to confuse them. They're there to throw off public perception, trying to hope that people will get lost in all of the misinformation again, so that just in case Diddy gets off, things can go back to normal, right? So that's really what this is all about. This isn't about Diddy being guilty. This isn't about all of the things that I said being absolutely true. This isn't about that at all. Not in any way. Not in any way. That's not what this is about. This is about horrifying, traumatizing, and then turning the conversation, right? Everyone thinks, oh, the Diddy trial is so terrible. Everything that they're saying is so awful. Oh my God, this is so terrible. We need to talk about other things. And you know what? I can understand that. This trial is horrific. It is. Everything that's being heard in there is horrific. Everything that's being said is horrific. Everything. It is terrible. And guess what? It's just as terrible as I said it was. You know, of all of the things that people are talking about, that's the one thing that they're not. They're not talking about that at all. They're not talking about how dead on balls accurate Jag was. They're not talking about how dead on balls accurate Jag has been. They're not talking about the fact that Jag even spared the public a few things because of how terrible it is. And now that everyone's feeling it, oh, we need a distraction. We need a distraction. We need a distraction. We can't deal with this. This is just too much. Oh my God, it's too much. This is too awful. It's too terrible. Oh my God, it is this, it is that, it is whoopty whoopty woo. It is yada yada yada. Grand Rising, what's going on, Bird? What? What you talking, Bird? What, you hungry? Is that what you're looking for? Because you are really feeling some type of way. You can, Bird still tripping. There you go, Ernie. What you gonna do? Even the chickens disagree with all of this foolishness. Oh, but I get it. But the thing is, if we're not going to talk about that, then why don't we talk about the other pressing things that are going on? There's a lot of pressing things going on. Why is everyone slowing down? Yes, posturing, bigotry, yeah, all of that. Why is the conversation about this man been turned down? Truth only, just like Kendrick Lamar and Drake, a huge distraction. Yeah, yeah. Listen to me. These chickens have a lot to say. Like they are literally sitting here sharing their outrage about the Diddler trial and how weird it is. They so healthy. They vegan. Yes, that's Tory. First day of the Diddy trial, this young man was stabbed. He was poked up 14 times. And now, in the midst of the trial going like extremely wrong, all of a sudden images of him being poked up while he was in jail have surfaced online. Well, why? Why? Grand Rising Brain. I mean, seriously, why? Why would surveillance footage from inside his prison be leaked online? Why do we need to see that? Yes, little fires everywhere. Why do we need to see that? We didn't need to see that any more than we needed to see what happened to Nipsey Hussle when they ran up on him. That was everywhere, all over television. I know what it's like to watch your child die on camera. I can't imagine what that was like for his mom. Just like I can't imagine what it's like for Tory's parents. Mm. You want to know what, though, that nobody's really talking about, though, in all of that imagery? How the prison guards, the COs that were there while that attack was going on, if you've seen the footage, did nothing. They did nothing. Nothing. They sat there and they let that man poke Tory up and they didn't even try to restrain him. Hmm. You know, there's a lot of timelines that keep getting skipped over. Well, see, what it does to the public is it inflames you, it drives you crazy, it makes you nuts, it makes you ooh, it makes you ooh, it makes you Ooh. And then you don't care because you need it to stop. You need it to stop, right? You just need it to stop. It's super bad. It's super bad. I want to thank everybody for the 500 likes. We need 300 more. Seriously. But do you know what it is? Hey, I'm just Josh, and thank you. You know what it really does? Wait a minute. I'm naming my daughter Kari after takeoff from. Oh, yeah. That's a sweet sentiment. It is. It's a sweet sentiment because the takeoff thing, I'm starting to see some timelines going on. Like I said, I'm about to do a ton of pods. I'm not going to be doing any of that content here. And the reason why I'm not going to be doing any of that content here is because I already know it's going to be shadow banana to death. And a bunch of weirdo YouTubers are going to try to find a way to take it in. Oh, and by the way, shout out to Relentless Lex. He just put up a video the other day. Jaguar Wright talking about um, Diddy's psychopath daughters, and was Jag wrong for this? Was Jag wrong for what? I didn't say anything about his daughters. I haven't said anything about his daughters. What I have said is they ain't got no business in that courtroom. They shouldn't be there. If they didn't know the truth about their daddy, they didn't need to find it out like this. It was cruel for them girls to be there, but they were there for public relations. Hmm. Like Misa on her walker, or Janice acting like she's too old to be prosecuted. Mm. Yeah. Does anybody remember when Takeoff passed away? Like there was a really interesting thing going on there. Takeoff passed away, I believe, Halloween. I think it was October 31st, wasn't it? 2022. What is Tamala saying? Blessings from Michigan. Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you. And I'm sure you are as well. Grand Rising. Mm-hmm. Halloween night. Now, of course, this was after the pow-powing incident with Tory and Meg. And, of course, all of that had already happened. Very curious timing. Allegedly. Allegedly, allegedly. Hmm. You know, a lot of people forget who these people were signed to. Remember their video they made right before? Mm-hmm. Sure do. You would think that Cardi and Offset and Quavo would have been a lot more interested in getting true justice for Takeoff. Or should we just call him by his name, Kari? No, what they're interested in doing is playing into the desecration of Black relationships and Black men. That's what they decided to do. He decided to continue to keep being a douchebag, and she continue to, keep entertaining him. And then everything became about how dysfunctional their relationship is. And I'm still trying to figure out why CPS hasn't really taken all of those kids from them. Like, I don't understand. They shouldn't be raising children. I don't care what anyone says. They shouldn't be. No, they want to be distractions. But then again, what else are they going to be? That's what they've always been. Kari was a true talent. If they had more talent involved than Kari, you don't think Offset's album would have done better? Because the second day he put that project out and it tanked, all of a sudden he's just back to being a whore again and mistreating his whore wife, who he impregnated a bunch of times, or allegedly, because there's still question about whether or not that last baby is his. And it, who cares about that? Why do people care about that? Why do people care about watching relationships crash out in real time rather than caring about what's actually going on? Hmm? I'm trying to figure that out. He doesn't like Cardi. The thing is I don't think he ever did. I'm starting to feel the same way about Pat too. I don't think Papoose really ever loved Remy at this point. I don't. You don't go from black love to black hate like that. And more importantly, why were you selling this whole black love thing? I mean, Remy did say that, and all of the stuff that people are talking about between what's going on with Remy and Clarissa and whoopty whoopty woo and yada 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 and so and so forth. Like, with all that stuff going on. No, nobody's talking about the fact that Remy Ma said that she was never into the black love thing, that it was that was Pap's thing. She just was on board because, that was Pap's thing. Yeah, no. They said he left because she was cheating, but allegedly he had been cheating for years. You telling me there was nobody else that he could have ran to for love other than a girl that's like 15 years younger than him? And I don't care what nobody say. Can the girl fight? Yeah, she can fight. But does anybody ever remember her on that Titan thing with the Mount Olympus? Does anybody remember that? When The Rock brought her onto his obstacle show, where he took celebrity athletes and pitted them up against like normal everyday, like workout junkies who are into strength training and all of that stuff. Did anybody ever, what was it? It was something Titan, wasn't it? Did anybody ever see that show? I'll never forget when I was still in Vegas. I was sitting with this poor idiot who was suffering through cancer. It had gotten so bad that it had turned into a flesh eating thing in a very, very, very painful part of the body. And while he was sitting there suffering, he's sitting there talking about, oh yeah, Clarissa Shields is this, and Clarissa Shields is that, and Clarissa Shields is this. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm ready to say that. The coal miner's daughter had more fights than Clarissa Shields. Christy, and she had a card. She fought, like she did a lot of fights. If I'm correct, I think Clarissa Shields is still less than 30 fights in her career. Still, like, who she fought. Like, when I talk about fighters and I talk about great fights and I talk about their record, what I really talk about is who they fought, who they beat. Did they have a bunch of bums on their card? Or did they have a bunch of like real contenders on their card? And it's kind of weird because the truth is there's not a whole lot of like marquee female boxers out there right now. So it would be really easy to call yourself the greatest when it's just very little to add up to. Look at folks going to be very surprised about. Mm, I ain't repeating it, but it's a possibility. We could still use 250 more likes. But Clarissa Shields' boxing record, in my opinion, it's not complete. I need 30 fights and I need you to fight 5 real contenders. And I need you to take every last one of them down before you call yourself the greatest of anything. Like real rap. Yeah. Like for me, Clarissa Shields, like her career to me, it's like it would be like a singer with my training and my ability going into competition with a bunch of karaoke singers. Hmm. Now, could I say, yeah, I outsang all of them. Yeah, I should be able to do that. They're karaoke singers. And as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to Clarissa Shields' record, I think she ain't done nothing but fight a bunch of karaoke singers. It's easy to look like a giant in a room full of midgets. It is. But you put giants up against giants and let them kill it, and then you know, period. Yeah, just like Logan Paul. You know, all of this stuff is staged. All of these things are theatrics. But for whatever reason, this beef between Pap and Remy is really bringing a lot of extra attention. And for her to go and start, chiming into this and talking into this, like, you should stop. And people need to stop telling her that she's smart. And people need to stop telling her that she's this and that she's that. What she is a well controlled machine. Maybe people should do more research about who her management is, who her publicity agents are. I don't know. But what I will say is this whole thing with Pap and Remy it's really giving her name a boost. Mhm. Maybe she's got a fight coming up. But what I do know is that they have now found a way to get 3 public figures who are African American to make a mockery out of Black marriage and Black families. And that's the distraction that we're turning to. We don't want to deal with the diddler. The diddler is too much. All of it is just too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Oh my God. We need to reset. We need to think about something else. We need to think about someone else. Oh my God. This Diddy stuff. Oh my God. It's just terrible. It's awful. It's this. It's that. It's whoop. It's whoop. It's yah. It's yah. It's this and that. It's all these things, right? Oh my God, it's just so terrible. It's so terrible that we need to turn our attention to rooting on the desecration of a Black family because that's what's happening. That's all that's happening. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. We have turned from one disaster and now are feasting on another. That's what we're doing. And it's not news. It's not. Now, there are some things that I do find interesting, very interesting at this time, extremely interesting at this time. And one of them, hmm, hmm, one of the things that they've said when Pap started running his mouth about his relationship with his estranged wife, who he so desperately wants to be away from. Welcome to the family, Ibrahim. Mm. I wrote all her hits. Really? Yeah, I know. The fires, all of that. It's beyond a disappointing distraction. It is catastrophic because what it says is that Black America is so lost that we now have found value in investing in other people's pain. Or is it pain? These are 40 something year old people that have a small child. I don't I don't even know if Reminisce is 6 or 7 yet. Is she about 6 or 7 years old? She's a little thing. I do remember though, right before the whole fallout happened, and this was after the Easy to Block thing, and Papoose was sitting there with their little girl, and he was training her. He was sparring with her, talking about how much he loved boxing and how he wants his daughter to, be a great fighter. And she's sitting there and she's punching and she's fighting. And it was so interesting because I went back and I looked at that clip, and then I went back and I looked at the clip of him with Clarissa, their so-called clapback at Remy. Interesting. Hmm. You're training your daughter, you're training your girlfriend, you're working out your daughter, you're working out your girlfriend. Who knew you were such a skilled boxer? Thought you were a rapper. But then again, a lot of people forgot that. You just became known as Remy Ma's husband, the guy who stood by her. And Pat been in the game a long time. He been around a lot of people a long time. I'm back in the Bay Area, back in 2020. Mm-hmm. I remember. I remember hearing about it. I do, Raven. But seriously, I think the thing that I was most interested in hearing Pat talk about, though, was him ghostwriting all of Remy Ma's hit songs. Because you admitting that only means you're a liar. We still need another 250 likes. That's what that means, sir. Thank you, Auntie Leah. Hmm. That's what that means. That means he's a stone cold liar. That man sat around for decades bragging about what an amazing lyricist she was. If you wrote all of our hit records, then the truth is you was only bragging on yourself, which would mean he ain't no different than Safari, because we didn't find out until Safari and Nicki Minaj broke up that Safari had been writing all of Nicki's hit songs. Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? After Nicki and Safari broke up, hmm that's when we found out it was Safari that was writing all Nicki's hit records. Now, if we go back before Remy got booked on that case, that still don't nobody know why it happened. I always ask myself, what would make Remy was right there. Little Kim had just got passed over. Diddy had positioned Nicki because don't forget, Diddy was Nicki's personal manager. Hmm. He designed Nicki to move Kim out the way. Everybody know that. Everybody know that. And then let Kim sit in jail while he built up her replacement right in the face, didn't send her $1 on her books, didn't write her a letter, none of that. Kim talked about it. But in the midst, in who's the queen of rap war back then in the early 2000s, it was all about who's going to be the queen of rap. Was it going to be Nicki Minaj or was it going to be Remy Ma? And then Remy Ma had that terrible thing. And then she powed her friend in that car. Nobody knew why. And Pap was there. You know what I know about Shluminati babysitters? Because that's what I call them, handlers. The truth is most spouses in the industry are exactly that. The question is, I wonder, when did Remy figure out that Papoose was a plant in her life? I wonder when she figured that out. Then again, coming home from jail, you're not going to talk about that. You ain't going to speak about that because you got to get back up on your feet, right? And see, Remy's back up on her feet was Love and Hip Hop, New York. Her big glow up was supposed to happen from there. And allegedly, from what I was told by an inside source, Fat Joe guaranteed her that. And the reason why Fat Joe would be able to guarantee her that is because of his relationship with Violator Records and Mona Scott, who we know is also a Diddy loyalist. Oh, did we forget? You love the sound of the chickens in the background. Yeah, well, when the cock crows, I don't know, maybe we'll have a little cockfight. I don't know. But seriously, think about that. Now, Remy was supposed to get her big glow up moment, her big comeback moment, Love and Hip Hop. And then Papoose created the Black Love brand thing, right? Which Remy Ma is now saying she ain't want to have nothing to do with. But it was Pap's thing. Now, Remy saying that she was paying for all of the bills because all of the stuff was coming from her royalties and whoop-de-woo. But if Papoose wrote it all, then put a 1 in the chat if I'm making sense to y'all. Put a 2 in the chat if I need to explain a little bit more. And like I said, I'm going to be getting more in depth on the timelines and all of that stuff in the pods. But I'm sorry, what it sounds like to me is that Pap was always a handler. He was put in place by Fat Joe and them to keep Remy in line. And it was easy for him to do so because what I do know about ghostwriters is they get paid under the table. And I would know that because I'm a ghostwriter. It sounds like Papoose had a lot of reasons to support Remy and stay behind Remy. And then when she came home, if he knew that she was cheating all the time, if he knew that she was undercover lesbian, if he caught her in bed with someone that she was at Bedford with in their home with the baby present, because he actually said that. I was surprised. I was surprised. For a man that never did no talking, he, ooh, because the truth is, him saying that alone could easily get Remy Ma a home visit from Child Protective Services. Because if she's the kind of woman that would carry on that kind of behavior with a child we need like 300 more likes. If she was that gone in her mind to be engaging in lesbian intercourse in front of her child, with a child in the room, oh yeah, that's CPS talk. That's CPS talk all day. That's a way to keep a hoe in line. Hmm. Meanwhile, you knew the whole time she was pouring on you with men and with women. You knew the whole time, but you were sitting there selling the black love agenda. Why would you be selling black love? Why did you sell us that crap, Pep? Because you never denied that the black love agenda was your agenda. And Remy has now come forward and told everyone that she wasn't down, that it wasn't her thing. She wasn't trying to do all that. She did that for you. So I wonder how messed up it was for her when DJ Self introduced the world to Cardi B, who was a social media geek. Like she was geeked out on social media. That's the only reason they were able to justify giving her the gig on Love and Hip Hop New York in the first place. Because she wasn't nothing but a stripper who screwed a bunch of rappers and had gang ties. She wasn't an artist. She wanted to be a rapper. She wasn't an artist then. She's not an artist now. We got 10-10 in the room. Can we get the likes to match? I I'm trying to figure it out. DJ Self brings on Cardi B, and the next thing you know, the glow up that was meant for Remy now goes to Cardi. While Papoose is still pushing the black love, black love, black love to his whore wife that can't keep her legs closed, who he did all of this stuff for and he did everything for, and she didn't appreciate it, and she's a narcissist and she's crazy and she's a liar. So are you, sir. Birds of a feather flock together. If it was good enough for you to kick it around for 20 years, if it was good enough for you to kick it around for 20 years, then what you complaining about now for? Because what you're saying is that you knew she was this, you knew, and she looked way too bad. She conceded. You wrote that. You wrote that. That's what you said. Remy's one of the finest lyricists. My wife is one of the best rappers. My wife, my wife, my wife, who you wrote all of her lyrics. Is what you saying. I mean, for crying out loud, if you say you wrote 90%, I would say that it's probably 100. I don't know. It's looking kind of interesting. It's looking very interesting. Meanwhile, they calling CPS on me and threw me in jail for 10 days because I had a slight mental breakdown. Instead of helping me, they set me up. Why they do innocent people wrong? I don't know. Raven, they tried to do the same thing to me. Put me in a hospital because my mentally incompetent second husband told them that I was crazy and showed them a bunch of weirdo AI altered clips that came from a bunch of duplicitous YouTubers. And that was enough to put me in a mental hospital and make me fight to prove my sanity. Hmm. Hmm. A lot of corruption in a lot of government agencies, apparently, who get all their information from a bunch of non-credible YouTube sleuths and internet sleuths that be running with anything other than facts. Gossip at best. Yes, Jack, I saw that video. You did awesome, by the way. You were Yeah, I know. I know that the trolls are loud and wrong. And salute to you on your coverage of making the band. And Auntie Leah, there's a couple other people that I think you should check into from the making the band era. Some people that I knew. I think you would find it very interesting. I've been praying for them. I had a dream about one of them. He was running and screaming. I promise I'm not going to testify. That literally popped up in a dream over the course of this past 7 days. I pray for him. Hey, Mizak. Yo, Mizak, it's been Wizak out here. It's been real Wizak out here. No, but really. Hmm. Oh, yeah. There are a few more people. Jay is right. Hmm. Anybody notice how quiet Babs has been lately? Interesting. No, but seriously though, hmm. And salute to the Jag Nation team. Salute, salute. I'm proud of my team. Y'all are sticking to the real stuff. Y'all are sticking to the facts. Y'all are sticking to what's actually there. What's going on, Bert? Huh? I'm gonna talk to your daddy in a second and see if he wants me to feed y'all today. But I know he got you on a schedule, so I know you might be hungry, but at least you ain't thirsty. It's we've been through a lot being yeah, yeah. When you're part of God's people, if you read the Bible and you believe what it says in the last days, true believers will be persecuted. They will be. How's Grace? You miss her? I miss her too. Um, we've been wanting to get back to book club and we're trying to find a new format. But I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the pressure that the trolls put on her personal life has taken a lot from her. And after everything she's been through, I'm just trying to give her some time. I know she's still very committed to book club and I'm going to be working something else. And she misses you guys. She does. But I need her to take whatever time that she needs because it's been a lot. It's been a lot. When it gets to the point where the troll farm reaches your actual real life and family, when it gets to that point where yeah, it's not good. And all because she sat with us and all because she wanted to share the good word with us and all because she like, you know, hmm, I remember when Grace first came into my life. Grateful. Always will be. So we're just gonna keep prayers up. And I'm hoping that we'll have a good schedule going for here on out for book club because there's some things that we're going to do just to make sure that the information doesn't get interrupted because there are so many spies inside the Jag Nation tier of our memberships here. You know, when we went members only, they all bought memberships. And Once someone has a membership, even if you block them and hide them from your channel, it still doesn't kill their membership. So they get to have access. You know, it's funny how YouTube works that way. They make sure that their little spies always have access to the information they want. It's kind of pathetic. Bert, she done jumped up here. Like, can y'all see Bert? Well, I guess she's not a human, so I don't know. I think you got to be human. Bert is sitting here, perched, like she fit to fly. Like she had to come and jump up on the planter so she can look and see if I'm stashing food up here. Like Bert is dead ass. Dead ass. It's amazing. But really though, like, uh, Bert just took flight. Bert said, "Whoa," and descended down. Oh my goodness. Oh, Bert ain't no joke. Salute to Bertha and Ernestine. Bert and Ernie. Bertie ain't no joke. Bertie said, whoa, ain't no food. Bert and flew, for all of her 3 seconds. You heard it? Maybe she decided she didn't want to carry him up. Maybe that's what. No, she didn't take my gourmet food. Bert is purely, purely vegan. Lovely eggs, by the way. Lovely eggs. No, but I mean, yeah, it's been a lot going on. But back to Pap and Remy and this whole debacle. In my opinion, the only thing that Papoose has skillfully acknowledged, whether he knew it or not, because in my opinion, I don't think he that bright either. I don't. I really don't think he that bright either. Might be a hell of a lyricist, but he wasn't thinking. You're a liar, sir. You lied to us for all of those years and promoted a happy, healthy black marriage. You created all of this merchandise to get us to buy into your black love thing that y'all promoted on Love and Hip Hop. You're a liar. And not only was that black love crap, I mean, the question is this: now that y'all are so busy out here letting everybody know that it really wasn't black love, that it was a fake marriage, that all she did was cheat, that she wasn't really into you, and you finally left to go be with somebody that was easier to control. Like, now that you admitted all of that, are y'all gonna give us all the money back? Like, are you gonna refund everybody? Are you going to refund everybody all of the money that you made? Because Remy said that that was your thing. She said she ain't never want to have nothing to do with it. You going to give us all the money back, Pat? Matter of fact, that's what you should be doing. What you should be doing is saying, now that I'm in a real relationship where there's real love, I feel really bad about, lying to the public and telling them that I was in a good, stable, happy black marriage and that I really was in love. Like, if she was doing this stuff all of this time, why did you have a baby? Because from what you've been saying, Pep, everything that she was doing before y'all had Reminisce. And on top of that, Reminisce was an IVF baby. That means y'all wasn't able to bring her into the world naturally. Maybe because there was no love there. Maybe because the womb just wasn't wombing for you. Maybe the womb wasn't really all of that into your seed because the womb was, so then you had to go and y'all had to, and from what Remy said, she paid for the IVF all herself. So we need to ask, was Reminisce a baby that was created to solidify the Black love agenda so you could sell t-shirts and hats and all that crap? You gonna give everybody their money back, Pat? I mean, since Clarissa is so involved, maybe y'all can put the money together and y'all can refund the public and let them know that y'all want to show them what real Black love looks like, and they don't have to invest, but you want to show them, to make up for the fact that he been lying to us for all of these years. I'm just trying to figure it out. Because what I hear is a whole lot of false advertisement. Yeah, the hats and the t-shirts and the black love, Remy Mine, Papoose, real black love, black love, black love, black love. And buy your t-shirts and buy your merch. And y'all sold a lot of that. You sold a lot of that, Pat. Matter of fact, you wore those t-shirts and hats everywhere, Pat. Everywhere. You was go tell it on the mountain about that merch. Go tell it on the mountain about that merch. That Remy and Pap are real. Go tell it on the mountain. Buy your t-shirts and hats everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain. That Pap and Remy are real. Not by what y'all saying. How much money did y'all make off of that Black love crap? Hmm? Because from what you're saying, sir, none of it was real. You said yourself you was married to a whore who never really wanted you, who used you, who took all of the records and took all of the money and bought herself a house and did all of this stuff and then forced you to say that it was all her money. And what it sounds like is she got sick and tired of your agenda. She got sick and tired of your agenda and said, since you made all of this on my name and on my back, I'm going to take it. And guess what? You were the idiot that put it all in her name. So did she take it from you? Or did you just get cold busted on a scam by your accomplice who no longer wanted to play along? See, that's what a handler looks like. And see, maybe that's the reason why Remy is spending all of her time saying to Clarissa, hey, you better watch out. You better watch out. Because let's just be real. Remy ain't gonna tell the truth about that. She needs her career. Not only did she get passed over once, she got passed over twice. And I wonder if that incident that put her in jail, I wonder if that was a setup. I do. Because the truth is Nicki Minaj was a lot more needy than Remy Ma. A lot more needy. She needed a lot more work looking like a credible hip hop artist at that time. Because see, back then, she wasn't nothing but a strip hoe trying to work her way into the game. Remy had street cred already. But see, mm, Remy is not as easy to control. She not. So I could see sitting her down for a little while so that you could run with the one that you can control. Because the truth is, they were both being controlled by Diddy loyalists and Diddy himself. In all honesty, I mean, Diddy, let's not pretend like Diddy wasn't the driving factor behind Love and Hip Hop. He was. Though he never appeared, he was the driving factor. If you look at all Every last one of those franchises, Love and Hip Hop, was a Diddy entity, for real, for real. Mona Scott's name was on it. Isn't it funny how they always using these chicks as the front people for what these dudes is doing in the backdrop? Hmm. Like I said, I'm going to be getting a lot more in depth in the timeline and connection points on my pods. So if y'all are not members of the Jaguar Wright Uncensored podcast, I suggest, if you want to hear the more in-depth version of everything we're talking about this morning, I suggest you, and for the members of my Patreon, who are not just subscribers but members, I'm going to be sharing some things with you guys, specifically only with you, uh, regarding me, regarding what's to happen next. Hmm. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But let's really look at that. Hmm. Put a two in the chat if y'all have heard any other content creator expose these aspects of the Remy Ma, Papoose Clarissa story. Mona Scott won't speak a word because the truth is, there's probably a lot of evidence that could tie her to collusion, Love and Hip Hop, LA, Hollywood, whatever. All Diddy people. And wasn't the cast led up by Ray J, who was literally just on Pierce Morgan the other day, on Pierce Boss Baby Morgan's channel? Hmm? Mr. I let men put meat in my mouth. The pun alone is unfitting. Hey, Boston girl. No, you haven't heard anyone. Yet Rayford is beyond insufferable because he sat there with Pierce and said nothing for all of what, 20 some odd minutes? He said nothing. And meanwhile, while he was sitting there talking about, did no one put two and two together with that? That Rayford clearly said when he was sitting with Boss Baby Morgan, Rayford said that this whole thing was getting dropped and it was ridiculous. And oh this and oh that, and Cassie, and what happened was bad, and there is no but, it was bad. I'm just saying, but CNN edited, and I think this whole thing is getting dropped. And then yesterday they tried that mistrial. It didn't work though. Mm, no, I don't think Rayford is clout chasing at all. I think Rayford got tapped in to the fake news brigade, and I think people reminded him about the investigation that he just had against him that got real quiet with him and Lemmy from Zeus, who offered me a podcast deal in April that they totally just forgot about. Yeah, always when it comes time to pay though. Yeah, everybody want to talk business until it's time to pay money. I guess they think I'm stupid enough to, I don't know, because they wanted the same thing. They wanted me to hand over a list of who I would be interviewing first. Yeah, no. If we're doing a deal, we're doing a deal. If we're signing a deal, we're signing a deal. But I don't turn over any of my contacts until I'm paid. And everyone that I'm doing business with right now should think about that. Hmm. Kind of like that show in DC that everybody was so up in arms about. Her show got canceled. Her show got canceled. Ah, ah. How? How did the show get canceled? The only thing we did was post the flyer that the venue created. That's all we did. You didn't see me promote it. You didn't see me do anything. You want to know why you didn't see me do it? Because there's certain things that have to happen in order for a show to be booked. See, this is how you know that the people that they have running these disinformation stories know absolutely nothing about the entertainment industry. And they're just sitting there running their mouths. The truth is that gig was a ruse. It was. It was a ruse. I already told y'all I ain't working with none of these promoters because I know that they all either have business with Rock Nation or with Live Nation, which is Rock Nation, which means if they do a gig with me, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to get any of the other talent that they would book throughout the year to be able to support their bills. Any of these promoters out here who book me are going to get blackballed and cut off, and their venues are going to die. And in this day and age, which is why I told my team, we can entertain it, but private, secret locations only that we control. So, meanwhile, no contract. See, in order for a show to be booked and canceled, there would have had to have been a contract signed. There would have had to have been a deposit. No contracts were signed. There was no deposit. Does that sound like a booked show to y'all? No contract, no deposit? Because that's how it works. You negotiate, you set the date, whoopty whoopty woo. Then you sign contracts and deposit is made. And that's when you start promoting. You don't promote before you've gotten the deposit and the contract, which is why y'all saw us doing no promotion for that venue. We thought, hey, it could be cool to do the free members only concert there, kill two birds with one stone, but we always had another location set up. That was something that happened to just come to us. Actually, it came from online. Oh, and by the way, Rich Homie OG, or Big Rich OG, whatever your name is, please stop trying to contact me. If you lost the files that I recorded for that song last year, that it took you forever to pay, and you didn't you didn't save it, your hard drive crashed, and you need somebody to no, ain't nobody sending you nothing. Ain't nobody sending you nothing. And I haven't signed off on a release to say that I agree with whatever you was planning on doing. So, oh well. It's really sad how my enemies go through all of this trouble to set up these so-called little miniature disasters to make me look like people aren't interested in seeing me perform, to make it look like people don't know who I am. Like, it's sad because y'all sent that DC theater to try to set up a fake show so that y'all could have a moment here online and make it look like y'all was doing something. See, y'all shouldn't have said anything as soon as you did. Y'all should have waited for me to say something first. It might have had a better effect. Uh, oh, the dead bird is what? I'm sorry. She's streaming my live. Really? Why? Why would she be streaming my live? Hmm? Doing more recon for the troll farm or just trying to get views? I need everybody to do me a favor. Can y'all please report this hoe? Just report this dumb, goofy hoe. Please do. Report her. What, you think ain't nobody gonna strike you? Is that what you think? I don't know. But you're starting to look like an insane fan, is what you're starting to look like. I don't talk about you. I don't even say your name. Why are you? Ugh. Ugh. Like for real. Like it's time for her page to be reported like up out of here. You're pathetic. Get a life. Get some content. Go back to talking about Meghan Markle. I'm not your new Meghan Markle. I'm not. But you sound like somebody who needs to sit down and take a nap and go get a life. Find some new direction. I don't know. Go back to crying about your half dead father. See, you want me to be rude? You must want me to be rude. What, you realized I was live and you had to get up and go live so you could stream my live? Why don't you go back to that hospice center that all of your friends was threatening to call and track down your half dead daddy so that they could stalk and annoy him to death? I liked you better when you was crying about your half dead daddy. I did. That kind of made you seem somewhat human. Somewhat. Mm. Yeah, they can try all they want. They will not succeed. It's pathetic. Like I was saying, back to all of the YouTube ruses, a show can only be canceled if it was under contract and there had been a deposit paid and there was no such deposit. Not only that, I'm doing my own research on that venue and I have reason to believe, allegedly, they work with someone else that I know from DC who I did many shows with. His name is Mark Barnes. He used to own Park. He used to own Cloud, which was Love, which ended up turning out to be um, a deviant den filled with nothing but deviant behavior. I'm not even going to call it homosexual because it wasn't. It was just deviant, very sodomite driven places. Now, does any do any of you know who Mark Barnes is? Because I know who Mark Barnes is. Mark Barnes is one of Diddy's closest friends. I'm surprised he hasn't been subpoenaed yet for all that he knows. He was the one that helped Diddy promote all of those parties that he used to do down at Howard. And then he ended up going into club ownership. He was funded by the Combs Enterprise. All of Mark Barnes' clubs in Washington, D.C. were funded by the diddler. I'm surprised his name hasn't come up at all. Hi, Mark. Tell Shoes I said hi. Shoes is an old so called friend of mine. He used to be friends with me and Chucky Thompson. What I come to realize, though, is that hmm, he was a chauffeur. Yeah. He was spying on me for Diddy, allegedly. Like, that's how close my enemies have been to me for all of these years. They've been putting people in my life forever. See what I was going to say, ask me questions about this, ask me questions about that to see what I knew. That's when I started developing the plan for what I'm doing right now. Years ago, because I saw what the score was. I saw what the game was. How in God's name isn't anyone talking about Mark Barnes? So Mark Barnes is a very close friend of Diddy. Mark Barnes knows a lot. And Mark Barnes was Diddy's agent working in DC. Go back and check. Look, Mark Barnes did a lot of the Obama, um, inauguration parties. The last one that I went to was the last inauguration of Barack Obama when I started realizing something was wrong. And I told y'all Jamie Foxx was there, and I ran into my old manager, Breon, who became Jamie Foxx's personal manager the past 20 some odd years, and was very interested in my transgender assistant, who's gorgeous. Wanted to introduce her to Jamie. And those are facts. Now, like I was saying, administration. Do you think Lou Taylor tries stuff? They need to be exposed. They do. I don't understand why people are working so hard to keep that out. But like I said, there's a whole lot of things that I'm going to be discussing in detail on in pods. Everybody's doing everything that they can do to avoid being mentioned in that courtroom, even some of the victims. Yeah. And yet, everything that's being brought up in that courtroom ain't no different than everything that I've been saying for the past 5 years. It's wild. It's wild. But let's keep going with this Mark Barnes business. See, if I find out that this theater, if I get confirmation that this theater has anything to do with Mark Barnes at all, which I know in my heart of hearts, in my opinion, it does, because Mark Barnes has been very, very, very instrumental in choreographing how shows are booked, who gets booked, when they get booked, what's this, what's that, on behalf of the diddler. Can't cancel a show that wasn't booked. Oops. See, that's the value of my silence. I sit back and let all of y'all make fools of yourself. And what you actually do is give me more information and confirmation on where all the crazy stuff is. Mhm. Why a bit Diddy bodyguards not charged and detained? I don't know. I don't know. But there's a lot of people that ain't getting mentioned. A lot of people. I wonder how long that's gonna last though. Because after I finish running down on these pods, I think the prosecution is gonna have a couple other people that they can reach out to. See, and that's the value for my enemies in blocking me and censoring me. Interesting. You enjoying the show, Bird? I tell you one thing, you don't look as tasty as the birds I got here. Hmm. But hmm, it's very, very interesting. So yeah, Pap is a liar and a fraud, and in my opinion, a thief. You sold people a bunch of products based upon an imaginary story. Mad cow disease is very real. Salute to the set. And Jag, did you have to take down your? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna put it to you this way: if I'm not talking about it, it ain't worth talking about. And if anything that I've said regarding that very fraudulent, whatever it was, then it wasn't by me. They just scrubbed it. Like they seem to scrub a lot of things these days that I say and that I do. We could use 250 more likes. And salute to the over 1K that have been here in the building. And salute to the 1K likes. But we could still use 250 more. Yeah, I'm sure you can't find it because they probably scrubbed it. The joy of being me, watching all of you people flail around in your idiot, just your idiocracy and your stupidity, trying to find a way. Hmm. Yeah, now he's on to his next assignment. That's exactly how I see it, Boston girl. But if him and old Punchy are gonna sit around and you know, if they're gonna sit around and talk all of this crap, then maybe you should talk about refunding all of the people who bought into your lies. What, Bert? Bert just sitting here listening. Bert sitting here getting the tea. Okay, listen to me. For you, DJ, because you're probably here just to get content, let's be very clear about Shalana. Let's be very clear about Shalana Hunter. I got love for her, and I got love for her daughter. And that's all it is. And that's all it's ever going to be. And if you're referring to the clips that they put out online right now, that's old. It's old. Actually, it's very old. It's the first time that she tried to come for me. But the reason why she was doing that was because there were two YouTubers by the name of Sean Davy Way and the official Kingpin that were setting her up to make it look like she had defrauded the public because she sat online and collected a bunch of money because she said she was going to come bail me out, and she never did. And then after that happened, and she saw how they was trying to line her up, she just jumped on with Jag is a liar and Jag is this and Jag is that, and that's why I didn't do this, and that's why I didn't do that, and whoopty whoopty whoop. That's what that was. What I find interesting is that people can grab a clip from wherever and post it right now and make it seem like to the public that it was something that recently happened. I haven't talked to Shalana. Mm, I ain't got no problems with her. What I do know is that Shalana should be grateful that I didn't jump on the bandwagon with those YouTubers to have her Cash App reported and investigated for all of the money that she collected to get me out of jail. And she never did. Oops. It's funny how those numbers pop down in the live. Y'all got y'all content. Now y'all go run with it. Ooh, you people should be more grateful when I do show up. How else would you eat? Or are all of you counting on um just running with these fake stories? Put a 4 in the chat if anyone has heard Gene Deal verbally confirm that he tried to or did attack Not Not. And when I say Not Not, I'm talking about the talented Mr. Ricketts, who likes calling the police, giving them my name, and lying and saying that there were unalive people in a dwelling where I worked, and none of it was true. Yeah, it's crazy how they love to hate on me. What else do they have? Hating themselves, being honest about how much they hate themselves. Hmm. Hey, Badgie Boo. No, seriously. It was all a lie. That's why. What I was really disappointed in was when I saw how MREC jumped on it. That was pathetic. That was really pathetic. That was kind of disgusting. Because what I can say is that after that, I ain't never gonna watch MREC again. He made it very clear he's with the F stuff, spreading that lie around. The part that's really bothering me though is Gene, because I don't know why people are playing with his name like that, making a mockery of him, making a spectacle of him, like somebody like him will waste his time and putting his hands on a weirdo like Not, who has a reputation for going into big so-called media moments and starting a fight for clout, clicks and views and status. Is everybody forgetting he did the same thing with Armand? And then Michael Braggs Jr. tried to insert himself into the whole thing and they tried to make it a thing. It was at one of those Zeus events. And I believe even Bobby Lights, who's also a love and hip hop person. It's so funny how all of these love and hip hop people are now getting involved into these online beefs. It's like since nobody's watching the show when they put it up online, they just decided to monetize it on social media and keep trying to push the. They need to change the name of the franchise altogether. It needs to be Lies and Hip Hop, not Love and Hip Hop. And all you have to do is just change a couple of the letters because Lies is 4 letters, Love is what? Yeah, Lies and Hip Hop. Now, I'm not going to speak for Gene, but what I will say is this. Yeah, nah, it's all lies. It's all lies and distraction because the distractions that they've been putting together haven't been working. So, yeah, my next group of pods, 1010, my next group of pods are going to be to remind everyone about the timeline and the connection between all of these fake ass stories that are coming out. And then showing the intersection at how they're using it to distract you from what's really going on. Mhm. It's pathetic. I'm really disappointed in you, Emrek. I ain't gonna lie. I'm hella disappointed. Hella, 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 hella disappointed. You know? I really had a lot more faith in you. But for you to run with that crap, that's just pathetic. It really was. And this isn't me going at you. So please don't turn this into a thumbnail. Jaguar Wright attacks MREC and calls MREC a liar and then go live. And then you and whoever you got sitting with you over there start doing your little weird research and then invite all of the liars who lie about me to come and lie about me on your channel. Please just skip it. Just skip it. It's not even worth it. Just skip it. Yeah. Especially considering that you've had contact. But we just gonna leave that alone. Yeah, no, it's disgusting. It really is. It really is. It's just super duper 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 disgusting how easily people are willing to take orders to run charging off and to tell a bunch of lies. Lie after lie after lie after lie. But I mean, I guess all of y'all want to be this guy on the screen. That's what it's looking like to me. Y'all are dying to be like this little hand person. Look at those hands. How do you trust a guy with hands like that? Like those are hands that were made for whacking off big midgets. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Like it's literally knuckles and then a nub and then digits. It's weird. Like the deformity of it all. Little hands. Very little hands. Can't trust a man with hands like that. I'm sorry. Can you imagine him trying to make sandcastles on the beach with, oh, yeah, big little people? You know, and the little hands in the sand just running through them. Just he must have hated trying to go to the beach and make sandcastles when he was a kid with hands like that. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I guess that's what they all want to be. Oh, can't trust it. Can't trust it. He should have worked in a circus. But then again, that's what he's created. He's created a circus full of lies. Now, that little black girl that you sent to try to warm me up, try to loosen me up. Mm. Let's just hope I don't decide to expose her because you losing her inside that courthouse, like, and you should probably tell her that just because she said it's not on the record doesn't mean that I have to acknowledge it. If my microphone picked it up, then that means I got it. Everything you said, this isn't on the record. You probably should have just started out by saying that and then pulled me to the side to talk to me privately, even though I was still mic'd up. What makes you think I'm not going to burn you? And you should probably ask Armand to go and take down that picture with you in it after y'all little group meeting about how to continue to keep inflaming the public with a bunch of lies, allegedly. That wouldn't be good. Because, see, if the prosecution should get word that there is a media agent inside and outside the courthouse choreographing things for the media, ooh, that could be dangerous. I just hate the fact that it's always people that look like me with my color that are so willing to be crash test dummies for the devil. You better hope that I don't decide to take the footage that I have of everything that you had to say about your boss and everything that you had to say to me and put that up because it is filmed and it is recorded. The question is, if I am such a headline, why? Why didn't I run with it? Maybe because I needed to get a little more information. See, just because I'm not in that courtroom doesn't mean that I don't have someone in that courtroom for me. I told y'all that. Don't nobody want to listen to me. Don't nobody want to believe the truth. It's cool. What I will say is this to that sweet little black girl with the shoulder length hair, about size 6 to size 8, a little darker than me. What I will say is you should probably start looking for a new job. That's what I'm going to say. I take no pleasure in making someone, you know, unemployed. I don't. But considering how hard y'all have worked to make sure that I'm not employed, I don't see why I should care. The question is why does TMZ have somebody colluding allegedly with YouTubers? Hmm. But then it would explain how all of the fake stories that have been told about me on YouTube ended up being headlines on TMZ. I don't know. I tell you one thing, if I burn your chain of fake evidence and fake headlines right now, and we ain't even halfway through the trial, it's not going to look good for TMZ at all. And all of your AKA pro Diddy content. I got you on record, babe. I don't care if you said it's not on the record. If you didn't want it on the record, you should have shut your mouth and stopped speaking while there were cameras present, while there were microphones hot. Or were you just that hot to do your assignment that they sent you to do on me? That's media 101. Anything that you don't want recorded, you don't say. If you don't want it recorded, if you don't want it repeated, then maybe you shouldn't say it. Because whatever my content is, that's my content. Hmm. It's just kind of wild, you know? All of these people are supposed to be so intelligent. YouTube's messing around again. Is there something wrong with my stream? Put a one in the chat if you can see and hear me still. Go out and come back. Oh, my voice isn't synced. Oh. Hmm. Y'all know what that means. When they start messing with the stream. Well, if you can hear me okay now, let me repeat what I said. I got that little black girl of yours on tape, Harvey. I got her on record, Harvey. I got your little black girl. I got your little black girl in multiple pictures with YouTubers. I got your little black girl in multiple pictures with YouTubers doing all kinds of disinformation about this trial. I got your little girl. You hear me? I got her on camera. And I got her while I was mic'd up. Little girl, I want you to understand this. I have not said your name yet. All I've done is given your description. Don't even think about trying to say that I doxed you. Welcome to the family, Destiny. And we still could use 250 more likes. You know, it's a crime what they're doing. Oh, sure is. It's a crime. You know, this is off the record. No, it's not. Might be off your record. It ain't off mine. It recorded just fine. I hope you have a miserable day at that courthouse today. I hope everybody is looking at you trying to figure out if you are the spy mole emissary that's helping YouTube coordinate with TMZ allegedly. Psst. I told y'all I wasn't there for the same reasons everyone else was there. I was there to make sure that y'all didn't rig it, that y'all didn't steal it, that y'all didn't move it around. I was there researching y'all. I also got wind from someone else. Oop, one. Thank you for the likes. We still need 250 more. That there's a documentary that was just filmed and shot about someone who was at Club New York, who filmed this whole account of him being there, and he was standing right there and he was there, and discrediting Natanya Rubin completely. I wonder when that's going to be released. ZB, I wonder. I wonder when that's going to be released. Were you saving it to see when the trial was going really bad, or because what I told that director is that it was all cat, that Natanya Rubin is not a liar. She is telling the truth. Her story has never changed, and I believe her. Not some down on his luck hip hopper who's looking for a moment to be relevant now. I just found it very interesting that I was trying to be dissuaded from interviewing Natanya Rubin, and warned that if I did it, that there was this documentary with this guy that's saying that everything she said was cat. I don't know. It's looking kind of weird. It's looking really weird. Like I said, I'm going to be going over timeline, connecting the dots, all of that on my pods, on the Jaguar Wright Uncensored podcast. Those will be available this weekend. I want everyone this weekend, after court shuts down on Friday, to be able to hear what I really have to think about everything that's going on. Because the truth is, that's all anybody really wants to know anyway. If only I could see the look on his face. Mm. See, everyone wants me to do commentary on the day-to-day little nasty deeds that are happening online right now. That's what everyone wants. They want me to stay in their space so that they have content to go back and forth with me about, to distract me from exposing all the distractions and the lies. That's what this is. It's chicken. They want to push, they want to pull, they want to do this, they want to do that. That's all this is about. And unfortunately for them, I'm not going to participate. What I am going to continue to do, though, is I am going to continue to keep doing my research and collecting and gathering my evidence. That's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to keep doing what I've been doing, exposing lies, teaching the public how to ignore great distraction, and reminding people what's important in all of this. And what is important And all of this is very simple. Part of the reason why I began speaking out to begin with is because I'm an artist. I'm an artist who was defamed, financially abused, physically abused, harassed. I've been through all of these things, all of them. And I've been speaking out against them. And I went after the head of the snake. And the head of the snake was Diddy. After I saw what they did with the R. Kelly case and how they lined him up and framed it to make it all him and no one else, which is the exact same thing that they're doing with Diddy right now. He's the bad guy. He's the bad one. Don't look at everyone else. Don't look at everyone else. Meanwhile, while all that's going on, you have stuff like this happening. You have stuff like this happening. And people are sitting there trying to pretend like this isn't what it is. Bethany, I've learned a lot. One thing I know, people tell on themselves all the time. Listen to what exactly, Bethany. But you have to make sure that you're paying attention when they're saying it. And that's the purpose of all of these fake stories and all of this fake crap. Relentless Lex, I have said absolutely nothing about Diddy's daughters. Please remove that. It is a lie. I have never struck your channel and I'm not interested in doing so. But you need to take that down, sir, because it's all lies. There is not a clip that you will find of me referring to Kim Porter's twins as anything other than victims of this whole situation. Please stop. We got your back. Keep looking forward. Thank you, Michael. I wish I had a larger team. I do. You know, right now, the hardest thing for me to do is to find a way to secure the funding that I need for cruelty free. We haven't applied for any grants or anything like that yet. But if we could find VCs that were brave enough to financially back us so that I can hire all of the people who volunteer their time to help me with this very, very, very important work, that would be awesome. I've been in prayer. That's what I've been doing for the past 7 days, praying for Tory Lanez, praying for the just and right outcome of this trial, praying that the people that stand with me can stop being attacked. I appreciate that, Christy, but the truth is, this work, it requires more than volunteers. It requires people that can literally devote their time. You know, I'm up. My sleep cycle changes all the time because I need to catch news at this side of the world, news at that side of the world, news going on here, what's happening on this algorithm, what's happening on that algorithm. I'm a machine when it comes to my research. I am. Yes, free Tory. You know, of all of the videos and the clips that they've been putting up, if they can put up the video of him being assaulted by this guy who has nothing to lose, who's in jail for life for unaliving the underage girl he was abusing. That's why he's in there. How did we not start a campaign to cancel Megan the Stallion immediately when we saw the headlines that her fans were putting money on his books for what he did to Tory? Meanwhile, the only thing that that video does is strike fear in the hearts of anybody that would go against Rock Nation at this time, because what they don't want is for any Rock Nation collusion to be able to brilliantly and accurately lead right back to the diddler. And try to, yeah, yeah, yeah. He was weak and he was screaming for his life. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? The intimidation of it all. It's funny. It seems like the video of him being attacked in jail while all those CEOs sat there and let it happen. They didn't even bother to try to stop it. And for someone who has been incarcerated, even though it was unlawfully, I'm going to tell you something right now. Anytime officers are sitting there while a vicious attack is going on and they don't do anything to stop it, it's because they've been told not to, in my opinion, allegedly. I find it funny that that's getting more traction now than the ring cam footage exonerating Tory of what Megan said that he said and showing her and the glass. Hmm. It's funny. When I scheduled this live and I titled it, When Does God Step In? He stepped in this morning with me when I woke up right before I started this live, and I prayed one last time before I hit the button. God steps in when you call him in, when you let him step in. I prayed for the whole world this morning. The whole world. Well, see, that's the thing. If Megan Thee Stallion is thrown in jail, then everybody that helped her push that fake story needs to be in jail too. And that would include Desiree Perez and the Jigga Man. Hmm. It would include that. That's exactly what I'm looking for. No. Oh, yeah, that picture. That's for something else. Food. It's this. If you know who the woman is in this picture, put the name in the chat if you can recognize who this woman is. Was worried about you, Jag. Haven't words from you in over a week, praying for you always. And Miss, why doesn't the defender of, I'm sorry, what is this? Why doesn't the defender of freedom givers protect you all? Oh, America's future? What makes you think that they're abandoning us? You want to know what's really interesting? It's funny that you brought this. It's cutting out again. Okay. I don't know why it's cutting out again. Put a one in the chat If you can see me and hear me, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's SZA. That's SZA when background when she first got signed. It's funny. Put a 5 in the chat if she still looks like this. Put a 6 in the chat if she looks a lot different now. Maybe she was Mooney Long's inspiration. She barely looks like the same person at all. Yeah. It's funny. You know, Cardi B has had a lot of work done. Nicki Minaj has had a lot of work done. And I think it would be fair to say that Remy Ma's had a touch here or there too. There's a lot of women that would do anything so that they could look different, be different. Yeah. She could fool bill collectors. That's how different her face looks. But this was that terrible interview when they asked her about her first project and was she worried about how it was going to be received. And she said that if her album didn't sell, that she would go and jump off of something high. She said that, which was really crazy because she was sneak dissing a Lori Joe, who was the actual first lady of the label that SZA is now heralded as the first lady of, but that's not what I was looking for. That's not what I was looking for at all. Oh yeah. If she don't look anything, it's the comment here that got me. What the F was SZA's problem that was so disrespectful and insensitive? I'm not surprised. Yeah, that's wild. Really, really, really. Hmm. You know, until we get to the bottom of the hate culture, like really get to the bottom of it, until we get to the point where we realize that yeah, whole new face. It's time for us to talk about how hip hop has been using women and how women have been signing up for it so that they can be special and look pretty. I'm just sitting here right now looking at this girl's feet. Does this look like somebody that was shot in the foot? It just doesn't. Not unless she's the bionic woman. This person was willing to lie on another human being so she could sit here in this rag. So that she can get one of these little trophies that ain't nothing more than an idol for people to worship. So they stop worshiping God. This girl ain't nothing more than a bully, and all of her fans are demons. It's funny how she said Tory was a demon, right? Tory's a demon. No, your fans are demon. They're demons for sending that criminal money, for hurting Tory. And now they want to flaunt the images of his attack all over the place to make sure that the Rock Nation fear is properly instilled. Hmm. It's even bigger than it takes one to know one. Tory's not a demon. Tory wasn't being a demon in jail. He was actually being an angel, creating positivity, squashing beefs between gang rivals, doing all kinds of things. Took that time and then tried to do God's work with it. I know because I did the same thing when I was inside, when I was incarcerated, waiting to go to trial or waiting to be released. Bible study group and praying for girls, praying for their cases. It had gotten to the point where every time someone came and prayed with me right before their court date, they went home. And they always used to say, Mother, we can't wait until they call your name. And every time I've been released, and seeing the girls, yeah. There's never been a time that I booked out and was released from all the fake cases that have been thrown on me that they didn't celebrate when I was leaving. Tell me how much they would miss me. And I would take my Bible and I would give it to the girl that I thought I needed it the most and say, keep prayer group going. It works. It works. Like I said, I woke up this morning and I prayed for the whole world. And then I felt God's spirit. And he said, now's the time to go live. This is when I step in. Go and let them know I am in control. I wouldn't touch this live button until I felt God. So I just wanted to take this moment with y'all and pray for this man. While everybody is so busy worried about who slept with who didn't sleep with who cheated on who started a fake fight so people could have thumbnails with who's lying on who's this, who's that. We could still use 200 more likes, guys. Let's just take this moment to have a word of prayer. Dear God of all, we come to you and we ask you, Lord, to keep all of our eyes open and clear to hear and to see you and you alone. Lord, please kill the thirst for enjoying watching other people suffering as entertainment. Dear God, Tory Lanez is sitting in a hell that was not of his own making. There is exonerating evidence, and there is a fight to have him released. God, Gavin Newsom has been approached about the unlawful detainment and all of the lies and all of the insufficient evidence and evidence that was cloaked and hidden. Sit on his heart, sit on his mind and his conscience. Let all of his meals be distasteful until he does right by Tory Lanez. Let all of his deals go unresolved until he resolves the issue of justice for Tory Lanez. God, I am asking you, we are asking you. We know why they don't want Tory out, because Tory out means the loss of morale for the demon horde that we believe and know to be Rock Nation, which has been colluding with the Combs enterprise for decades. We are asking God for all of that to be exposed. We are asking for this to not be a lonely RICO case. We are asking for this case to have all of the people sitting there and being held in account with the diddler, no different than it should have been with Robert Kelly. No more acceptable monsters. We are asking for all monsters to be exposed. God, I pray now with everyone that is here, 1,000 people. We're coming to you, Lord. We know when you step in. You step in when we call you in. You step in when we ask you in. You step in. How about keep us focused on not worrying about what these media people are saying, whether it be social or what's supposed to be credible media? How about rather than us worrying about what they're saying, we just worry about what you're saying? We just worry about what you're doing. We watch you work. God always answers my prayers. And as I sit here and I pray with you all, I know whatever the silent prayer is in your heart, it will be answered. We come here together, Jag Nation as a full community, praying for right justice to stay intact and praying for all deceptors to be exposed. When Cat Williams sat down on Shay Shay and he said, all evil will be exposed. I do not know what made media think that they were going to be exempt. God, as you use me, as you use us, let us be emboldened that our prayers are just as important as every vote from every juror in that trial. Even though this jury has not been sequestered yet, we are asking for you to sequester their minds, their conscience. It don't matter if the law don't keep them safe from all of the lies and from all of the harm and from all of the distraction. God, we know you have the power to do it. If there's a juror who has a sick or ailing family member, let them say no to any money offered to help. If there's anyone there that's in severe debt, that's on the verge of homelessness, Lord, we're asking you to let them know that you have their circumstances. They don't have to take any money. God steps in when we call him in and we sit here together today, nearly 1,000 strong, God. Let your will be done. As it always has been. And Lord, make this the learning lesson and example that we need it to be in the power of believing in you. Sequester their minds, sequester their hearts, sequester their conscience. Let nothing get in the way. And that's why we're here, God. We're here as your voice on earth. You said no, and we agree. In Yeshua's name, Asheo. What's that? There is no doubt in my mind that justice is on the way. Do not let these people fool you. Do not. I'm going to be dropping that video clip though in a little bit of the evidence that my voice was AI'd. I was actually able to pull up the voice graph. Sure was. I love that I understand sound and technology well enough to be able to pull whatever I need to pull whenever I need to pull it. Hmm. Bob, the trolls who keep creating more distractions to continue to dilute the jury pool for a reasonable doubt. Let go. Of the deadline. It's not going to happen. That's really what this is all about. From the second bother the trolls, I need you guys to watch creating this. More distraction to continue to dilute. This is AI. The jury pool for a reasonable doubt. Look at the sound. Let go of the deadline. It's not going to happen. That's really what this is all about. From the second bother the trolls, a cut and paste conversation. Creating more distraction to continue to dilute the jury pool for a reasonable doubt. Let go of the deadline. It's not going to happen. That's really what this is all about. From the second bother the trolls who keep you see creating more. Boom. See, the beautiful thing about audio recordings in a digital space is that it creates a graph. I'm very familiar with it. I'm a recording master. So every time a voice clip is recorded, it prints out the digital analytic of the megahertz. You will be able to see clearly in this video that I'm about to put up where the voice goes dead and where it jumps in to another phrase, and then where it goes dead, and then where it jumps in to another phrase. hmm That's AI edited. hmm You'll be able to follow along. I recorded the voice graft for all of you to be able to see yourself. So as you listen to the 15-second clip on repeat, you'll be able to go and look. And that was just one. That fool, Ralph Boston, AI'd me, took a picture that I use for my backdrop as an avatar. You want to know what else was interesting about that clip? That nobody bothered to hold him accountable while they sat there and watched. Because when he added the fake me to the stage to have a live conversation with him, guess what? There was no voice bubble. See, anytime you're in StreamYard and you log in and you log on, it's recording everything, just like I just showed you. And what happens is, and you'll see it if you go to any live, as someone is talking, there is a voice reverberation that shows up. It's funny how Mr. Boston sat there and advertised a live conversation with me on Sunday. And yet, when he brought the avatar of me up on stage, there was no voice reverberation, no sound print, none, which means whatever was talking wasn't a person because as Mr. Boston was talking to the recording of me, pretending like it was an actual conversation. His voice reverberation was very apparent. Why did nobody in his audience call him out on that? And why did nobody, people like the dead bird, bow to pull that? I saw it right away. Right away. You impersonated me, and you weren't even smart enough to create a voice so it would be clear that there were two people talking rather than one person talking that wasn't there. Thing about technology and metadata, you still watching goof ass Miss That. I'm curious. And all of your fake argue with who to try to creating. It's obvious. Engagement, the illegal stuff that you were doing in the dog stuff. But it's evident and talked and went back and forth and shared. That would mean have sat down with the recording, listened to it, and figured out exactly where to talk and interject himself into an imaginary conversation with a recording that was created. We're buffering again? Like I said, I didn't go live because I wanted to see how many more impersonations of me were going to pop up. I'll wait a second longer because apparently all of the spies inside the Jag Nation membership are trying to disrupt this live. I wonder why. Because you're busted? Because impersonation goes against all community guidelines on YouTube. And when you're caught impersonating, your channel is supposed to be deleted. Sure is. Do you know who one of the first people to do that was? The talented Mr. Janot Ricketts. Hmm. Programming fake Jags to go back and forth in the chat. And then, yeah, I guess they decided that they weren't going to try to do what they did with Storm Monroe last year and AI a video of me saying something that I didn't say. I guess they figured it would be safer to just do audio, hoping that people would believe it. And like I said, the only reason I even knew about it was because someone sent it to me. And it was wild because the person was like, you sitting with Ralph? And I'm like, no, I haven't even been online. But it's funny because I was on a phone conversation while Mr. Boston was going live for over 2.5 hours with a new friend. Her name is Mary Flynn. Her brother is General Mike Flynn. And we were talking about what to do regarding America's future and the role that I hope, the much larger role. There were just 250 children found. I believe it was 250 in Texas. Mary Flynn, she really is a juggernaut of a God fearing. And for someone to say, why aren't they protecting us? It's not that they're not protecting us, they're being attacked as well. We're all being attacked. All of us who are standing for the true principle of America, all of us who are standing for the true principle of America's future. We're going to start talking more about the children. See, I understand protocol. I don't need to rush out to the front to prove anything to anyone. God said no, Rock Nation. Yeah, he sure did. God said no. God said no. Meanwhile, we got all this beef, we got all this distraction, we got all this collusion, we got all this, and now we actually have the video of this young man being assaulted in prison, and prison guards present, and no one tried to stop it. It's insane. Yes, it's time to stand. All of us stand. See, people keep forgetting my role in this is to protect America's future for music, for artistry. So we don't have to watch children who were children, like Justin Bieber and Haley and Chloe, get bride and groomed all over YouTube, like they're doing with Blue Ivy right now. Got her up there dancing like an insane tranny. Like, seriously. The girl has on too much makeup. She's sitting there doing all of these dances. Like, people, oh my God, she's just like Bay. She just like Bay. She just like that. Why? Bay wasn't that age when she was doing those dances. Bay wasn't that age when she was gyrating her body like that and getting down on her hands and knees. She wasn't doing that at 13. So why is it so cool that the daughter is? Yes, they're totally robbing her of her childhood, just like they did with Justin Bieber, did with Hallie and Chloe right here on YouTube. Look at all of their lives now. Look at them. Look at all of the harm, all of the pain. Look at Justin Bieber. Look at him sitting there with this child. Hmm? While she's trying to coax him through being able to perform when he looks inebriated beyond belief. Hey, Holly, what do we really care about? Hmm? What do we really care about in this world at this time? What do we give a damn about? Hmm? All of those young people were discovered, cultivated right here on YouTube, just like they're doing with Blue Ivy. They talk about how great she dances and whoop-de whoop-de whoop. The girl didn't have a lot of rhythm. Everything that she's doing is mechanical. It's because she's being overly rehearsed and overly worked. It's too much. We know all about what her body looks like. We see the bosom that they're trying. Like, we know all of these superficial things when it comes to this child, but have we seen her report card? What does Blue Ivy's report card look like? Because that's what a girl her age should be focused on, her education. What's she learning other than how to run around and jump and dance around like a man? Meanwhile, everyone's talking about she's got an album coming and do we even know if the girl can sing? I'll tell you what I do know. Kathy White couldn't sing. I had the strangest thought in my mind. It was really wild. I saw them having that girl lip syncing to AI voice recordings of Beyonce to make her sound, to make it sing. Yeah. See, we know Northwest has talent. We've watched it. Now all of a sudden, Blue Ivy's a singer. She gonna be a singer just like her mama. I want to see it. I want to see it. Matter of fact, if they're gonna sit there and parade that girl around on stage as this great performer and all of that, when do we get a Blue Ivy vocal solo? Like you got her sitting there dancing like a man and acting crazy and gyrating and doing all of this stuff at 13 years old. I don't care how tall that girl is, she's a child. And her brain isn't going to be fully developed for another 12 years. While her brain is in development, have we seen a report card? What's her favorite subject in school? Does she like science? Like, well, of course, it looks forced. It's not natural. That would be impressive. If when Blue Ivy comes to do the dangerous the deja vu dance, if she would be the one to actually sing it while she's gyrating like a man and popping all over the place and looking wild and crazy. And then throwing her hair and it just all of that. It's too much. It's too much for a 13-year-old girl. It's too much for a 13-year-old girl that we don't even know if she can read and write. I know she knows how to hold up a paddle and and bid on a bunch of money that was earned on the backs and lives and hard efforts of other people that she acknowledged. But when's she gonna sing? That she not know. It's Beyonce, not until we see her sing and dance and not lip sync. Matter of fact, why don't they just let her do an acapella? Like, even though Bobby Christina didn't have the best voice, at least she would try to sing her mom's songs a cappella from time to time. She didn't have a mother's voice, but at least she sang live. Are we going to hear this child sing live? Like, it's just so funny how these people that go to that's going to this demonic show haven't asked whether or not that child can sing. Probably because you can't. Eleven, 11. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm. The love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money. Blue Ivy, I don't know, but I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. These people don't care about these children. They want to be entertained. Fantasy worlds. Meanwhile, you got people twisting themselves inside out to do whatever they can do to create disinformation. It's just kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Actually, it's not kind of sad. It's totally pathetic and disgusting, is what it is. That's what it is. Totally disgusting and pathetic. But people want to talk about kids, but they don't want to talk about this man. They don't want to talk about this man. And he can rap, just like his alleged father. He can rap. Can Blue Ivy sing? You'd rather be poor. Yeah. The kids don't know any better. Well, exactly. Of course. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is older, he will not depart from it. It's programming. You know, his godmother Lily was sitting over. Salute to Ramir. His godmother Lily, who was there when he was born, she shared something with us over on Liz Crokin's Twitter space. And salute to my girl Liz Crokin over there. You know, she running down. But Lily made it very clear that Ramir's mother was a minor when she gave birth to him. Not when he was conceived, when she gave birth to him. She was a minor. This is how desperate these people are. And the second that she said it, the next thing you know, the Twitter space got shut down and Liz had to start a whole new one. I mean, the truth is, when you look at him and Blue Ivy, they resemble each other. They do. They do. Imagine running around pretending to be the oldest child while your alleged older brother, who is older than you by decades, is out here trying to get proper acknowledgement. And it doesn't matter as long as she's up on stage dancing around and parading around like a wild animal. And we don't even know what her GPA is. If you ask me, it's abuse and it's neglect. If you ask me, people got to grow up and stop believing all the hype. I'm not here for a fashion show. I'm not here to get dressed up for nobody. I'm not here to go back and forth with anybody. I'm here for the truth and the truth only. Period. Now, I got a lot of pods to do, and I need to get to that because some of the things that I touched on today, I'm going to be going over timeline. And I think you are all going to be very interested in hearing what I have to say, but I will not be saying it here. I'll be saying it on the pods. This is our community. I'm also going to be reaching out to some of our wrenches and some of our new channels in the community to discuss when we're going to be doing the broadcast, your independent broadcast here on the community channel, on the Jaguar Wright Effect. We're going to probably need to have a group meet. I'll set up something. The producers will reach out and let's figure out when we get you guys up here on the channel. I would really like for all of you to be able to have access to a larger platform to share some of the interesting things that you're finding. I don't know. What's this? I'm sorry about your son. Justice will be served. It's funny that you say that because last week, when I was trying to figure out, decide when I was going to hit the button on this live specifically, hmm, it's funny that you say that because Giovanni was in my dreams. He was in my dreams last week. Heavy. Um, I was forced to relive um, his unalivement because I saw it. I'm not gonna lie. The video of the video of Tory, it was very inflammatory for me as well. Very inflammatory of me. Very inflammatory for me, should I say. To be forced to have to watch your child lose their life on camera, it's an ugly thing. It really is. It's a very, very, very ugly thing. Um, to see the very person that you gave life to. I was sweating like a dog that day. Me and Angelo, us landing, getting off the plane. He was, oh my goodness, what a day that was, getting him into Dallas. I had to push him. I had to grab his bag. The guy threw his bag at it. It was just a mess. Yeah, it is kind of weird how TMZ got their hands on that. Salute to my old manager, Angelo Minerci. May you rest in peace, friend, forever. Hmm. It's just wild. When I look through all of my pictures and I look through all of my screenshots and all of the things that I've been through. Oh, by the way, this isn't Kid Cudi's car. This is my old car that was found on I-10 West in Phoenix off of Baseline. Was it west or east? Where they found it burning and they had to put it out and tow it. I think people keep forgetting about that. Isn't that wild? Hmm. People really do forget about that. That was 2023 though. So I guess who cares? Old news, right? Or something like that. I don't know. Hmm. All of the lies. But when you're forced to watch your child die and then to see people make a mockery of it. See, this whole thumbnail here was to inflame me. It was to enrage me. It was for them to play my blood, my children. Yeah, that was Gerald Johnson Jr.'s handiwork. Old Goomba. It's funny how he disappeared. Hmm. Can you imagine a bunch of weirdos? This was last year. This was around the time that they corralled my son to do that interview. And, you know, those who have members, y'all know what it is. Those who are members, y'all know what it is. But to watch a child be unalived, it's a terrible thing. Huh. It's just super interesting, though, because last week I saw my son I saw it. I was there again in that parking lot, and I saw the boy that unalived my son, Caleb. I saw him run up, and I saw Giovanni was distracted, and I I tried to run and jump in front of it. And someone grabbed me and pulled me to the ground. And I was screaming. I wasn't fighting, but I was screaming. I was screaming so loud. You could I could see the windows shaking in the building. And ah, while he was laying there bleeding, I saw the blood come out of his mouth, and he turned his head and he looked at me before he left, and he said, "I love you, Mom. Mom, they're all gonna pay. They're all gonna pay." And then I watched him leave while I laid there screaming. Imagine that being your dream, reliving your child's unalivement that you were forced to watch, which was meant to drive you crazy. And to hear your son say, "They're all gonna pay, Mom. They're all gonna pay." That's why I chose to be still and watch. Because, see, the second that my son passed away, he became my ancestor. And his spirit is with me. And every time my son has given me a message from the other side, I've listened closely. See, I know that my son's unalivement was orchestrated. I know that it was, I know everybody that lost their job trying to do the right thing, and I know everybody that got promoted for doing the wrong thing over there in Tarrant County. I know that there was a call made to 911 that gave the wrong address for my son's incident to make sure that he was dead by the time help arrived. Because the truth is, if that ambulance had gotten there an hour sooner, like it was supposed to have, my son would probably still be alive. Imagine that. Everybody running off, scattering like roaches, working on their cover stories. My son's death wasn't being investigated as an accident, it was being investigated as a homicide. And I'll never forget when the detective, who I was making sure got accurate information because my sister Lachelle and her daughters kept calling, giving all of the wrong information and all of the bad information about what had actually happened, even though they weren't there and they were all the way in Florida. Tell me something. Why would your aunt and your cousins literally be trying to derail the investigation of your death if they ever cared and loved? It's funny. You don't see Lachelle, Jamie, or Jasmine sitting with any of these weirdo YouTubers anymore, do you? So watching what happened to Tory Lanez and looking at the inactivity of those correction officers while someone was literally sitting in their face trying to take his life. I can only imagine what that did to his parents. I know what it did to me. This is what I'm trying to stop. Put a 7 in the chat if you're with me. Put a 7 in the chat if you want to join me in stopping these monsters from taking another young Black life or just another life, no matter what color. If you're with me, put a 7 in the chat if you want to see this stop. Well, then let's keep our heads to the focused on the task. Let's keep our ears to the ground. And for all of the content creators in our community, if you see it, point it out. Let's make sure that we're piggybacking the real content, just like they're piggybacking all their lives. Yeah, boots on the ground. We are. And whether I'm in New York or not, make you no mistake about it, I'm in New York. Whether I'm there or not, I got eyes. I'm there. Now, the question is that little Black girl that works for Harvey about to get fired or not? We're going to see. The question is, which YouTuber is going to jump up to defend her? Or which YouTubers are going to be taking down all the pictures with her in them that they've been publicizing? Because this trial isn't a trial. This trial is an opportunity to get a job. This trial is an opportunity to show your wardrobe. This trial is an opportunity to build your YouTube channel. This trial is all about anything but justice. Hmm. Harvey, I got your little Black girl though. I do. And you should let her know that if she doesn't want something on the record, she should probably just shut up and not say nothing at all. Probably. That would probably be the smart thing to do. I'm standing with you, Jag, sending prayers. Thank you, Holly. Yes, survivors, in solidarity. I want to thank all of you for showing up. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for everyone that's been here. But trust and believe this: God is in control. He's in control. Do not be fooled. Do not be swayed. God is in control. And look out for the pods this weekend. Like I said, I'm going to be getting more in depth. I'm going to be connecting dots. I'm going to be exposing timelines and collusion. Our job, Jaganators, is to make sure, to make certain that the public doesn't miss the truth. That's it. That's all. Yeah. 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 I've been bait for years. I find it interesting that they take one of the biggest advocates and then they turn them into distractions. We're going to keep on busting their asses with the truth, and that's just going to be that. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not going to be going live again. Um, I got a little more work to do, but right now, I need to make sure that you guys get this information that I'm about to put all together in these pods, and I'm probably going to go live again. I'm going to try to reach out to Grace and find out when she'll be able to start book club again in the midst of all of her hoopla, um, with all of this internet foolishness. It's really disgusting, but whatever. Yeah, and I got to get to my cameo. I haven't had a chance to really. The truth is this trial. I've been focused on so many different aspects of everything that's going on. So we got a lot to do. There's a lot of information to gather and collect. But I will be putting up that video very shortly so you guys can see the evidence of Mr. Ralph Boston AIing me and impersonating me in a live interview that never happened, but was nothing more than a collection of prior conversations that I either had on his channel or other people's channel that he took and wove together so he could have a Jaguar Wright interview while I wasn't present online. And at the same time, he was advertising that I was sitting with him live. I was actually on the phone with Mary Flynn, and I have, uh, the call log to prove it. And let's figure out how we're going to be doing these time slots for our wrenches who have channels um in our community. I really want to get to that next month. I really want to get those features going because I need you guys to grow. I need you guys to grow. Oh, and by the way, to the dead bird um who apparently was streaming this live, I want you to explain how you justify sitting with a racist like Cleo Waller. For somebody who was making such a big deal about racism, months back, about 6 months or so now, you were making such a big deal about racism and you're racist and you're racist and you're racist and this is racist and Americans, all they care about this and da 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 and whoop de whoop de whoop, but you're sitting with a racist. Cleo Waller is a racist. I mean, you didn't bother before you brought that weirdo racist up on your panel. You didn't bother to ask her about all of the negative content she was doing on me last summer when she said that she was going to hit me in the head with a pan and kidnap me and then duct tape me to a chair and torture me while she was waiting for the police to come and take me away so she could get a $2,500 reward to buy a Wurlitzer piano. That's who you sitting with. You'd be better off sitting with Ron. You'd be better off sitting with Shane. But you can't go back there, can you? You're stuck right where you are, sitting there with racist. Yeah. Cleo Waller last summer, which is part of the reason why she got kicked out of the troll farm. I guess we done cut through so many of they frauds and they liars that they had to start tapping, bringing weirdo trolls back from the dead. Yeah. Cleo Waller, who is a couple other people, but for whatever reason, Um, there's another content creator that was able to confirm, I believe, that she's in Pennsylvania. She's an old white racist who hates Black people. I just don't understand how Black people justify sitting with her. That woman don't know me. Everything that she knows about me is a lie. Lies repeated by other liars and other liars. Matter of fact, I think I still have the recording of me recording Cleo Waller last summer saying that I was essayed by my dad and he got me pregnant with my deceased son Giovanni, and that she heard it from my sister Lachelle. I think You know what? I might go live a little later while I'm taking a break from doing all of the pods and doing all of this stuff. I think I might take a break and see if I can pull that recording up to make it available for you guys to hear. Because she said very clearly that my sister Lachelle told Tasha K that my dad had SA'd me, impregnated me with my son Giovanni, and all of this happened while my mother was sitting right there and did nothing about it. Hmm. That's funny because they've been repeating all of these lies that my sister told them 5 years ago, and nobody has demanded that Lachelle Angela Fields Wright Wallace get online and substantiate these things. Like even Trasha K in that surviving Jaguar Wright thing said that my sister told her that about my father, which is an utter and complete lie. And they were still promoting it on Amazon Prime last summer before the diddler got arrested. They were promoting it here so that Trasha could make a couple of dollars because the truth is her website is dying and her memberships ain't as stable as she's trying to make it seem. Oh, by the way, also, I will be discussing in one of the pods about the whole Trasha K coming to defend Milagro Grams. And now all of a sudden, Andre Titties, you know, I hate that my dad is dying in the hospital, but can you send me money to pay my, you know, parking tickets and so I can go gamble at the casino. He's been doing content on her, talking about Milagro this and Milagro that. Well, guess what? I'm gonna be doing my own review on the Milagro Graham story involving the descent between her and the Tory Lanez family in camp. Because what I do believe, I don't think Milagro was ever really a supporter. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I do think. But the second that they were stupid enough to let Trashy K come and try to defend her by pointing a finger at someone that she said was a racist white man who was saying the same things that Milagro was saying. So why are you suing Milagro and not suing him because he's a multimillionaire? And Megan, you should be going after him. See, that's when I knew there was something off about Milagro. And I think I know what it is. And I'm going to be discussing that on the pods as well. I almost want to say it right here, but it's so cold. I think it's going to hurt y'all feelings. A lot of people's feelings. It's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings. Because what I do know is the only people that Trasha K is worried about protecting on this construct are people that work with her. Yep. I'm gonna wait for the pod. I'm gonna wait for the pod. I almost want to drop it though. But Milagro, after I do this pod, I think you're gonna have some explaining to do. And not just to YouTube, but to the Lane's family, well, to Tory Lane's family, or should I say the Peterson family. Hmm. For them to cut off one of their greatest advocates for Tory, I think I know why. And I think I know why they're trying to create all this disinformation about it. So, like I said, I'm going to save it for the pods. Hey, Ayasha, welcome. Welcome. I love it when the family's all here. So, yeah, you hope you'll get your notification for the pods. Well, there's no reason why you shouldn't. Um, but what I will do is when we're dropping this connecting the dots series, not that I'm calling it that, but when we do this, I'm going to make sure that I post it on all my outlets, that the pods are available now so you guys will be able to go and hear what I actually have to say. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. It's kind of sad. It really is. And this live is not to be streamed anywhere but on Jaguar Wright and Jaguar Wright affiliated platforms. If you're streaming this live, I suggest you stop now and take it down because you will be getting a strike. No one has permission except for Jag Nation to use my content ever. I mean that. Please believe me. Relentless Lex, please remove that lying ass thumbnail in that video because I never said any of the stuff that you said. Anybody listening to old Tokyo Tony rants, trust me when I tell you, they're old. Um, and I have no problem and no hate. It's not even relevant. Don't ask me about any lawsuits. They're not relevant either. Don't ask me about anything unless you're asking me about my take on everything that's going on. Kicked off? What? Child. It's this just it's the censorship for me. Welcome, Jacqueline the Great, to Jag Nation. So yeah, and just so you guys know, the membership only concert is still going to be happening this summer, as we said it would. Still going to be happening. Just never forget, you can't cancel a show that you never booked. So the question is, to all of you YouTubers who were so busy trying to take credit for canceling that show, are you willing to take credit for tortious interference as well? Matter of fact, let's ask Siri. You know, Siri, Siri, what is the definition of tortious interference? Hmm. Okay. Tortious interference. Tortious interference, also known as intentional interference with contractual relationships or contractual relations in common law of torts, occurs when one person intentionally damages someone else's contractual or business relationships with a third party, causing economic harm. Let me read that again for the slow and illiterate, or for the non-Americans that like to pretend like they don't understand English when they get busted in lies. Tortious interference is also known as intentional interference with contractual relations in the common law of torts. Occurs when one person intentionally damages someone else's contractual or business relationships with a third party, causing economic harm. Welcome, Atarashi. Welcome to Jag Nation. So let's take a little vote see, shall we? If people are sitting online once you post a potential possible date for a concert, and they sit online and say, it's none of my business, but I'm going to call the theater and let them know, and I'm going to play all of my fake, false evidence and whoop de woo because they shouldn't let her perform there. And then two and three other outlets say, yeah, that show is getting canceled. That show is getting canceled. Didn't I tell you the show was canceled? I told you the show was canceled. And they knew about it before I heard anything about it, even though there was no contract or deposit. So you can't cancel something that didn't exist on the book. But sounds like tortious interference to me. Maybe the reason why the venue it wasn't going to work out was because of all of the threats that they were getting from stalkers like Cleo Waller. What is Trees' real name? Nicole Johnson or Nicole Carson or Nicole Johnson Carson. People like Kimberly Elaine Smith. People like Magdalene St. Germain Kuku or Kukwa. Mm, yeah, tortious interference. Sure is. When you intentionally do something to stop someone else from being gainfully employed. You know what else? It was tortious interference when the robot was contacting View It and taking phone calls with View It and leaving voicemails with View It. That was also tortious interference. It's like all of you seem to think that these rules don't apply to you. For anyone who gets online trying to convince the public that I'm not mentally well, that's tortious interference. Andre Turner Jr., Adrian Deontay Lewis, Michael Braggs Jr. That's tortious interference. And you're using YouTube to do it. That's also against the law. The sad part about it is that everything that you're saying is a lie. It's not even true. Sherelle sitting around saying that I'm a danger to children and anybody who would want their children around me is crazy and needs to be this and needs to be that. That's funny. I don't have no child instances. I don't have no child, nothing. But I know that some of the people that talk about me actually do got child cases. Why doesn't Nicole Carson Johnson, whatever, the trees, the head fan stand for the trash K debauchery. Why hasn't anybody called CPS on her? As many SA offenders as she lets be around her children and as many times as it's been talked about. Like, I don't get it. But what I do know is what my daddy told me is very true. Anytime people keep accusing you of doing things you ain't doing, it's because they're doing them. So I want y'all to really go back and listen to all of the lies that all these people tell about me because really, it's just them telling the truth about themselves. Salute, Paperwork Party. Welcome, Paperwork. What does this say? Good to see you. Are you good to see you are in good health and spirits. God bless you and your followers. The Diddy case is crazy. I will be in New York at verdict week. The Angie Stone sector is getting to the bottom of well, I hope it's really getting to the bottom of it because honestly, Paperwork, all I see is just a bunch of craziness. Oh, and Paperwork, I just want to warn you. You have a couple of people in your chat. One of them is named Rosalind, and the other one, what's the name? The Dom Ferris. I don't know if you've seen them, but they are trolls. They call themselves the Toothpick Avengers, and they're with that psychopath, the robot, Danny Robertson. They're her people. They came to your live the other night when you were going over the first thing that you did, going over the autopsy, and they were there collecting information. That's why the robot didn't go live because she didn't have no content. So that's why she pushed that live back a whole hour, and then she put up that Diddy upload that ain't nobody interested in watching. She's just paying for people to watch it, buying views. It's really sad, but she's trying to break her way into the Angie Stone sector, and I'm telling you right now, you need to block and ban and bar that woman. Oh, and by the way, paperwork, because Cleo Waller has been after you too. Cleo Waller has been working with that person. So basically, they just coming over to your live and they're taking all of your facts and details and then they're trying to find a way to like remix them and make it seem like it's original, but you're actually their source content. So I'm just gonna say anybody that's over there in robot toothpick people land who's over there to get the information about Angie Stone's autopsy, you might as well just go to paperwork because that's where she got it from. That's why I was sitting in that live the whole time because I wanted to see exactly how many spies was going to be there so that they could go and copy and paste what you got going on. Salute to the paperwork party though. Now I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to keep praying. But now, oh, and just so you know, you probably should tell your boy Quiet Storm, um the radio man, the gospel storm or whatever he is, you should let him know that Kiva come and get this commentary, who's one of the toothpick Avenger people too, is over there doing a whole video trying to dissuade people from listening to him and to come and get the Angie Stone content from the toothpick Avenger people. Yeah, she's up there publicizing the case with his daughter, all of this. Not a lot of people are watching, but it's starting to gain a little traction. So, to the Angie Stone sector, let me say this. If y'all really want to make sure that you get to the bottom of the bottom to it, you need to keep as many of the frauds and trolls out of it. You do. Because it's only going to make what you're doing not credible. You really need to stay away from all of them. So yeah, to Roslyn, who kept asking you, because it was Rosalind that kept saying, can you clarify projectile? Can you clarify? She was literally there taking notes to give to the robot because the robot didn't have nothing to go live with. Yeah. Yeah. You can't copy the link. What link can't you copy? I'm not sure, but whatever the case may do, I'm gonna, probably just get a couple of, and I'll post the links on the community wall, and they do a lot to try to silence us. They do a lot. Oh, for the petition? Okay, well, we're gonna have to figure that out as well. We're gonna get all of that figured out. So yeah, last, is there any last? Mm, no, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it for now. Like I said, the rest I'm gonna say on the pods, but notice we are the driving factor for the truth being heard. And we got to keep going. We're 70,000 strong. Please tell a friend to subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe and become a member if they want to engage in the community. But tell them to subscribe. We need to get to 100,000 subscribers because the larger we get, the harder the truth can fight because that's what we need. That's all we need. And to all of you weirdo content creators that are at the courthouse making fools and a mockery of the justice system, making fools and mockery of the victims and survivors by carrying on all of your fake stuff and all of your lying stuff, who are sitting there trying to promote each other because your channels is dying because you don't have any real information, I'm on your ass. And I'm about to expose y'all little connect. Hold on, what is paperwork saying? Salute paperwork. Thank you for that advice. Made a statement and she said she is not attacking. Oh no, she's a liar. Only quiet persona. Mm-mm, she's a liar. What is this? Maggot and Cleo have said they are attacking the. Oh yeah, yeah, Yeah. Well, it's not just because I was over there. It was because they ain't got no content. And that's their justification for making you content. Hmm. No, they're all lying. They're all lying. They want you, they want Quiet Storm, they want everybody gone so that they can have all the Jag content and so that they can find a way because they know that they kind of got to get off of me. Hey, Tanya, welcome to Jag Nation. They know they kind of got to get off of me because the truth is they all really busted. But it's just, we just waiting for everything to fall apart. And that takes time. But yeah, no, it's all lies. They're going to just find a way to siphon you and then discredit you and siphon you and then discredit you because they're dying and they need a meal. They hungry. They hungry hippos. What's up, Lauren? Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, listen to me. Listen to me. The thieves. God come quick. Mm, mm. God come in a hurry. There are thieves in the temple tonight. And guess what? We the night watchmen. We the Frank Wills in the temple. You hear me? We the Frank Wills in the temple. We there to blow the whole thing wide open and leave them no. That's who we are. We are the Frank Wills in this Willie Lynch saga of craziness and disgustingness. Yeah, yeah. So just be careful because they're all liars. They're all liars. Don't believe any of them. But you keep doing what you're doing because what I do want to see is I want to see justice for Angie because I would want someone to do the same thing for me if it were me, if it had been me. I mean, the truth is they wanted it to be me. They didn't just want it to be Angie. They wanted it to be me. Do you know what my death? Do you know the kind of distraction that would be? Man, they would have been able to get away with so much stuff with this Diddy trial. Ooh. Yeah, it's about to get real, Lauren. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The truth is fitting to spin the block, and a lot of people about to get popped. Facts. Facts. No, it's true. If I were unalive right now, my death would have so much more impact because of who I am and because of what I done. And the truth is paperwork. The reason why they came after you was because you played the audio of Angie speaking about me favorably. That's why. Because anybody that says anything good or exposes anything real is enemy number one, and then they want to destroy people because you messing with their meal. You messing with their meal. They can't eat. They don't get the same kind of numbers as you, and your channel has grown so much faster than all of theirs. It must suck to be them. You can't let your channel grow too fast. You got to get this to hold it up to make this look like this, and you can't do this because you're a disinformationist, and you can't be too visible. Oh, by the way, Frag, if you want to start talking about my pimple again, here you go. I popped it last night in my sleep. I don't know. I'm 48, and this is the most acne I've experienced ever in my life, even through puberty. So I don't know. But what it is an ingrown hair, and it's agitated. That's what it is. So I got to find the right esthetician to, do all of that. But I'm funny about people touching me. I'm funny about people touching me in any way because there's so many poisoners out here in this world. Next thing you know, you go to the doctor for a routine this, a routine that, and then boom, you're on life support. I mean, at least that's what my friend Albie Shore is going through. We're going to be getting a copy of his book for the book club. And we're going to be examining it right here on this channel. Thank you. Thank you. I feel good about my age. I feel good about the way I look at my age. I feel good about the fact that I don't need to put on 80 pounds of makeup like Tisa tells. And I wish somebody would tell her to start making sure when she uploads that she's, making sure that the cover picture doesn't look like, because all of her cover pictures look like she's like spaced out on cocaine, like for real. Like they all look like this. They all look like this. It's ridiculous. But I hope she's not related to Claudia Jordan, because if she is, ooh, that's gonna be ugly for her in the end. That's gonna be real ugly for her in the end. Like somebody tell her to make sure that before she's too thirsty to put it up so she can get a 100K video, and so she can make it seem like she's Nancy Drew, or honestly, it's giving Lois Lane. It's giving Lois Lane on cocaine. That's really what it's giving. Unfortunately for her, ain't no Superman. Ain't no Superman coming. Yeah, they all do a lot of talking without saying anything. That's why I thought it was kind of funny. Even Rayford, you're just sitting over there with Boss Baby Morgan, like, Mr. Please, sir, put salty meat in my mouth. It's just, ooh, it's just gushy. It's icky. It's weird. It's all of those things. Yeah. So anyway, see, this is me on camera, confident on camera, not an ounce of makeup on me, my real fingernails. This is the real me. I bet you she can't even hug anybody without destroying their clothes. Like it's so packed. It's just like impacted. Like, yeah. Yeah, nah, I don't miss it. But then again, I never did it. It's another part of the reason why the industry hated me. They couldn't use me to to sell their products and to push their product, because I didn't support it. I didn't support it. That's the whole purpose of why they natural beauty is the best beauty. It's just, I would love it if she would get, I would love it if she had the audacity to get on camera without 80 pounds of makeup just once. I want to know. I want to know. Mm. I want to know. Like, will you go live without 80 tons and pounds of makeup? Because I put on shea butter and beeswax on my lips, and that's really it. I, I want to know. I do. I really do. I want to know. Oh. And let's not forget to keep praying for Tory Lanez and the Peterson family, that he be released soon. I think a lot of people heard our prayer, and I think a lot of people are going to hear our prayer. Hell no, in your Sophia voice. I got to, I got to chat. I got to tap in with her. Oh my goodness. It's the clown show for me. They really think they special. Because see, that's what YouTube promised them they could be. YouTube promised them they could be all they want to be in the YouTube lying fraud ass army. It's kind of sad. But to do that just so that you can help destroy people who are really trying to live at God's will and at God's word. It's astounding. So on that note, I love you all. This was our update. I hope it was updating. I hope the update was updating. I hope you all are happy to be back together again. This is fabulous. This is the family. And on that note, my name is Jaguar Wright. I'm a defender of freedom. honored by General Michael Flynn and his sister Mary Flynn, for America's future. And we're going to keep fighting for that freedom, freedom of speech, freedom to love God. Oh my God, when Mary said that on our phone call the other day, she said, that's really what we're fighting for. We're fighting for the right to just love and honor God, protect his children. This woman, you know, Mary's a few years older than me, good few years older than me. She's like the same age as my big sister was before she passed away. And when I heard her say, I wake up every morning and all I say is God, after everything you've done for me, what can I do for you? What do you need me to do today? And she said, Jag, this is it for me. Every day, fighting the good fight. This is all I got. This is my life's work. And I had to say to her, I totally understand because I'm in the same place. And I'm going to be doing more with the organization. We're going to be speaking about a lot of things, but there have been some new updates also with the missing, some of the missing children that have been missing down by the border. And Mary was just able. So once I have more details about that, we'll be discussing that over on the Jaguar Wright show. Uh, listen to me. Thank you for standing with me. Thank you for being a part of this community. Jag Nation, God bless you. And see you next live. Don't believe the hype, though. Don't believe the hype. It is a lot of hype. Oh, so much. Ooh. Mm.